I'm Josh Swartz.
And I'm William Illingworth.
Hosts of the HiTech Podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now.
Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others.
Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hey, welcome back. Steve here, and I got a special episode for you today. This is just an extra one where I'm working with Will and Josh of the HiTech Podcast, and what we're talking about is, you got holidays coming up, and you might have that techie in your life who has everything, so you're trying to find something special for them. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff we're going to share with you. They've got 5, I got 5 recommendations to give that techie in your life who has everything. By the way, we're not sponsored by any of these companies, nor do we receive any kickbacks. Just want to make that clear. We just had a lot of fun. Thanks for listening. Enjoy.
It's the Education Podcast, your favorite show, with lots of groovy guests and they share what they know. So crank it up to 10 and let your neighbors know that here's another show with Dr. Steve Milletto. Teaching, Learning, Leading K12. Teaching, Learning, Leading K12. Teaching, Learning, Leading K12. With Dr. Steve Milletto.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Steve, and this is Teaching, Learning, Leading K12, and I'm joined by Will and Josh again, and we're talking, and they're from the HiTech Podcast, and you might remember us from not too long ago when, we kind of got into a sports ball thing, talking about, who's better, the Phillies or the Braves, and even though both lost, I do have to say that the Phillies made it one more time forward, but it's now the best thing is next year. All right, we'll see what happens this coming season, right?
We'll see you next year.
There you go. So, Will and Josh, say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Thanks for having us, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for doing this. This is cool. Today we're going to be talking about this. This is going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about 5 things. So we're actually going to have 10 here, but 5 things, maybe 12. I don't know. But 5 things.
Partridge in a pear tree.
Nice. So we're actually going to be talking about 5 things that you can give a techie who has everything, right? So they got the holidays coming up, we got Black Friday coming up, and all that good stuff. And so we're going to talk about those things you can get them for Christmas, for the holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. We got those 5 things. Like I said, could be a lot more than that. You can get the holiday because I got everything else, right? So
well, and one little preface, right? These are the 5 things you could get them on a budget-ish, you could get a techie a $3,000 computer. I bet you they'd be really happy with that.
That would all would be happy with that, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. But this is the budget version.
Like anybody listening who just wants to, StephenMiletto.com, you just send that computer to me. That works.
Inbox at hitechpod.us if you'd like to send any our way.
If you'd like to drop that our way too, that'd be great.
That's great. All right, so you're our famous host. We are riding your train, Steve. Give us your first one. Set us up. What should we set this expectation for the first tech gift?
Well, I think the first tech gift is one that I'm just so excited about because Josh was talking about last time we were together. He was talking about a work hoodie. All right, and I think when you have something like that, you need to have a Bluetooth beanie to go with it. All right. And the Bluetooth beanie also has a headlight. You can get it without the headlight, but it's got to have the headlight because then you can wear it with the work hoodie in the environment, and you can have the headlight on, working on whatever you're working on to fix it so everybody can communicate or do whatever it is that you help them. Yeah. They forgot to plug it in, unplug and plug the computer back in. You could have that, turn a headlight on. Yeah, turn the light on, and you can listen to music because it has Bluetooth headphones in it, and it'd be awesome. So you could be. It just needs
a bottle opener in it, and frankly, you're good to go.
It's great, exactly. I like that the at least the image that I'm looking at on Prime is it's called the Music Hat, and it's literally just a beanie with like play buttons on the side and a headlamp. I appreciate it, Steve, because I've been wearing, for context, those who don't know what Steve and I are talking about, and we've talked about this in the HiTech Podcast a bit. In my office, we call cardigans work hoodies because it's become a thing now. And I you know, I've been wearing those, Steve, and I've been like, man, it's really dark and musicless. I've been trying to figure out a way to solve that, so I feel like this music hat is the perfect solution. Yeah, I love it.
And the guy in the pictures is literally out in, like, I don't even know, 10-degree weather in the snow doing push-ups wearing his music beanie hoodie thing.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, if you too need to go out and do the push-ups in the snow, this hat is for you.
I like that. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
They're always smiling too. You notice that? It's not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, they're always happy with their product, you know?
Exactly.
The only time you have marketing that's not happy is when they're marketing things that will make you happy for not being happy, you know? Like the...
Yes.
Or the competitor, right? They've got to get a frowny face to the competitors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I love this. And we make fun of it, but honestly, if somebody gave this to me, I would probably use it. I'm not gonna lie. There'd be something. I'd probably be like under my desk trying to do something with chords. I'd be like, man, I wish I could listen to music and have light, you know? And there it is. There it is. I love it. It's great.
Nice. What you guys got on your list? Let's what's something first.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Josh.
No, okay. I'll lead us off. You gave me the list in order. This is Will and I. Will and I picked some things out, but I'm gonna go out of order in our list to give one. So this is one that Will and I both have, but we'd recommend buying for a techie. It's a tool called the PC Panel, which sounds a lot more extreme than it actually is. It's a digital, basically audio control panel that you can connect to your computer. So you're able to, like, for those of you who have, like, you change your volume on your computer and you've ever wanted to change, like, you know, your Chrome or your music. Yeah, Will's showing it in the video. If this ends up being on our podcast, you'll be able to see the video version. So you're able to control those audio things separately. So, like, for us who do podcasts and stuff, it's super useful because we can change our mic volumes and stuff using it. But if you're like me and you multitask and you have, like, audio on one side and you have audio coming from different areas, like, it allows you to kind of individually control and even program it to do little fun things.
Isn't, like, a typical use, like, let me have my music at one level, but my video game at a different level? Like, if you want to balance...
that's a common... I justified purchasing it for myself for real reasons, but that's basically the reason I ended up buying it. Like, that was...
Nice.
It lights up too. It's got lights. It's fancy.
Yeah, each of my knobs has a color. Each of my sliders has a color. The logo has a color. All of them are different colors.
And this is the point also, to just make it clear that, like, when I can't put mine on the screen because mine's, like, attached to my shelf under my monitor. But I bought the, like, cheaper version. Like, it was only cheaper by, like, $15, listeners. And I want to highlight this. I buy it, and, like, 5 days later, Will buys the more expensive version. I felt kind of attacked. That's all I'm saying.
And you should. That's gonna outdo you, man.
You know, I mean, it's got more colors. I love color.
It does. You have sliders. I don't. I have 4 knobs. I'm living in the Stone Age. Will's got sliders. It's a whole thing. It's fine.
Yeah, there's no better sliders, man. So that's good stuff.
Feel, you know, it's got.
Although I will point out that when Will and I get into meetings or on calls, he's usually the one who has audio problems and not me. That's all I'm saying. So maybe more sliders allows you to make mistakes. That's all.
Forget which input it's on, and then I'm hitting things. And I'm throwing. Can you hear me? I'm, like, sliding things like a DJ. You know?
Yeah.
Nice.
Make it work.
Anyway.
Very cool. So, all right. So let's take a look at something else. So, you know, we'll go from the beanie to, you know, I use a lot of Rode products, and Rode, if you're listening, even though they're not a sponsor, I would love to have you as one. So, but I use
StephenMiletto.com, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And but the Rode Wireless Go 2, they're these cool, they're wireless. It transmits everything, so you could be standing out there at I don't know, say like a Star Wars convention, and you could be, you know, out there away from everything, and you could record the conversation right there because you have the transmitter and the little. They're a little bigger than lavalier mics, but you have more control over what they hear and record.
Okay.
But it's called the Rode Wireless Go 2, And
you might have just sold us on this because we're going to a conference in January. We want to
we need to
record
recording tools. Rode, if you're listening, and you don't want to type in that long StephenMiletto.com thing, and you just want to shoot a real quick email over to inbox@hitechpod.us. That's a little shorter, less characters, less typing. You can just swing that on over.
Or go to both.
Or both.
Yeah,
go to both. That's fine.
Everybody gets Rode.
Yeah, I know.
We both have podcasts, and we'd love to, have you, have us try them out, maybe, and we could talk about them.
We'll send them back.
There you go.
Yes. Eventually.
Eventually, yes.
It's like Blockbuster.
Oh, nice. Be kind. Rewind. Yes. I have a friend who has the first version of them, and it's really cool how it works. And so I've heard a lot of good stuff about the newest version, and that's what I'd love. So that's cool. So if you do get them, you gotta let me know how it goes. So good stuff. But I like that as on my list. So what you guys got?
Do you do conferences, Steve? Are you going to FETC? FETC?
A lot of times I do go to conferences, but I won't be going
to FECs. Okay, we're going. We're hopeful to be recorded. So we could have recorded you there, but we'll get you for whatever the next idea is, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm actually going to go for HiTech Podcast's second one, in a subscription, an easy suggestion here. I'm a big fan of a tool called the Reflection app. It's a live journaling, secure tool that gives you daily prompts and you can do a weekly thing. It gives you Monday to the Friday. It's a very certain theme. It's going to help you reflect on stuff. I love Reflection for personal benefits, for educational benefits. I think that there's so much more we can learn about ourselves, be better in this world, build the peace we want to see by thinking internally. And so the Reflection app is a totally awesome tool for it. I use it a lot. I used it for I think a whole year or something, daily. That was a whole bit for a minute with the HiTech Podcast. I was using it from our first episode on it. I just used it every day forwards. I'm not as consistent these days, but gift a friend the Reflection app. Now, I will say this. Maybe put it in a very nice letter where it's oh my gosh, I love this so much. You'll enjoy it too. Not I think you're not very introspective and you need to, take some more time to reflect. That's probably a bad way to send this as a gift. But
it'd be bad.
It's
I think you need to reflect more. Yeah, it's
you're not really fun in parties. Why don't you think on that a little bit?
Yeah, maybe don't give them prompts to reflect on when you give them the Reflection app as well. That might also be overstepping it. Here's your Reflection app. Here's 12 things I think you should reflect on this year.
Right.
And the first one is, how could you be less of a jerk? It's those probably aren't the best.
When you go to parties, do you talk about things like your foot and or the sore that you have on your back? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just skip those topics.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. I like that. Now, you may have sold me on that app because that's something that I do a lot of in actual paper journals, and I've been looking for an electronic version so I'll have to check that out. Good stuff.
Okay.
I like it. You can lock it. I like security. I like privacy in my tools. They've got a really good ethos. They have a manifesto. I mean, that can turn some folks off when you look at a tool that's got a manifesto, but there's a lot of philosophy behind it. And I respect that. So.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So my next one is now, once again, any product names that we use, we don't receive remuneration from them nor are we sponsored.
Yeah.
But because there's lots of different versions of what I'm about to say, but this is a cool one because it's black and orange. It's kind of got a neat thing going there. And but it's called Jackery Portable Power State Explorer 3.0. How you like that name, man? It's just a nice long name. But you can plug in all kinds of stuff. You're out in the woods, you're out in a encampment, you're at a Braves game maybe, and sorry, I just
with a bunch of crazy people apparently, just out at a Braves game. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I'm joking.
Anyway, the point is that we're a lot of times we're at events like you guys are talking about, conferences and things like this, and everyone's taking every chair against the wall.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about that. You have your own it's a little portable box that can plug in USB and the different devices, as well as things that need plugs and stuff like this, and last for a bunch of hours. And I love something like that because it's portable enough. You're not having to take a trailer with this giant $3,500 gas powered generator or something like that. So
the most recent conference I was at, this would have been perfect. I'll tell you, folks looked like cannibals. You'd walk into a conference room and people would just like, their hips would just like snap, like, where's the outlets? And they all try and take the seats that are furthest to the outside. People are trying to like unplug, lights and stuff in the room. Like, oh yeah. Just get yourself a Jackery portable power station Explorer 3.0 with 293 watts of backup lithium battery power, and you're good to go.
You're good to go, man. Exactly. Gotta love that. Oh, nice power, man.
Good reference. I like it. You do that where you have the perfect voice for that too.
That was perfect. But I just got to say, howdy, neighbor. I mean, gotta get that in.
I like it.
Nailed it. Several of our younger audience listeners are like, I have zero clue what's happening right now. What
we have younger audience listeners?
Some. I don't know. Maybe. I'm dreaming. Anyway, so here's another subscription thing I'm going to throw out to you. That's a thought. I'm going to take this before Will does, because he knows if he takes this off our list, I'll kill him. He doesn't get to have this. So anybody who listens to the HiTech Podcast will know that we are obsessed with the tool Notion, and by we, I mean I am obsessed with the tool Notion, and Will just rides along on the journey that is the Notion train. That'd be another subscription, I'd say, if you want to get somebody, you have a techie friend who is you're looking for something to get for them. Subscription to Notion. While there's some free elements to Notion, I can tell you the subscription is much better. And you get access to a lot more things.
Does AI come in the base subscription, or do you have to pay up for AI?
It does not. So like if you're a really good friend, you won't just get them the subscription to Notion. You'll add on the AI package on top of it, so that they can have some fun with it, and take it to the next level. Right now, they just dropped this new feature, Steve. I live in Notion, as those who listen to us will know. They just dropped this new feature, Steve, that I now have a little AI buddy in the corner that I can ask questions to it, and it will search my entire database of notes, systems, tasks, and everything, and answer the question for me. So Will was watching me do this. I asked it the other day. I was like, what am I teaching on Wednesday? And it found my lesson plan for Wednesday, summarized the entire lesson, and then linked me to my lesson plan. It was pretty awesome. It's
I do remember that they have some sort of addendum though about like Braves fans can't have AI or something like it was.
Actually, ironically, Notion's AI just ignores the word brave. It's weird. I don't.
All right. I am right here. Okay.
You are still human. Sorry, we apologize.
Exactly. But yeah, Notion's a cool tool. There's a lot you can do in it. There's database stuff that you can do in it. There's notes. It works as a note-taking app. I use it for productivity management and all that stuff. I manage all my tasks and notes. And honestly, I don't. It looks like I remember a lot of things to people who don't understand that I have Notion, and it's really just that I have Notion and I live in it. Like that's basically the life. So I found that most techie people gel well with this type of tool. Because you can make it kind of your own. So
we have kind of the short list here. So Josh runs his life, which includes his budget, his groceries, his whatever. Josh runs his day job. Josh runs his personal devotions, readings. Josh runs the HiTech Podcast website. Josh runs the HiTech Podcast. Josh runs our entire second business. He runs all of that out of Notion, and it's probably not even it. It's probably more than that.
It's bad. I get emails now from Notion when they're like, we see you're using it a lot. Would you like, I'm like that guy that I get asked to give feedback because I've probably, Steve, been using it personally for 2 years. So imagine there's a page for every task, and don't imagine because that's reality. Imagine 2 years of that in a system. I don't know how many things are in this thing, but I can tell you it's a lot. I would be afraid to ask it to try to count all of the things because it would get very unhappy.
So like in their office, do they have like a picture of Josh? They have like this You know,
We should. If you're listening, Notion, guys, come on now.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Yeah, hashtag not a sponsor, but you should be. That would be my
Please.
goal before we die. Just like if the HiTech Podcast gets a sponsorship from Notion at some point.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Excellent. I love that. So that's cool that you use it so much that it's. That it's part of your world and everything. It seems like you do. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Had lots of experience with it. Nice. All right. So my next thing that, to get a techie that has everything is, they've come out with this whole new, there's nothing like the number of dongles we've had to come up with. And I just like that word, by the way.
Some people shy away from it. Some people lean into it. It's good.
So it's important to make sure that I say dongle for a few different times on this podcast. But but one of the things that, over time, I have plastic bags I've stuck them in, and I stick them inside my laptop bag, or I just stick them in the big pocket and they're all in there. And they've made little different types of dongle bags over time. But now it's a whole... The whole world is like dongle bags. All right. They've got these incredible things. And I found one that's like a little suitcase and it has different layers. You can unzip and zip and do all that good stuff. And you got all these different spaces for any type of thing, from power cords to dongles to even batteries, whatever else it is you need to carry wherever you go. And I think that's a cool gift to give a techie who just has everything. Is a nice looking, because you can even order it in multiple colors.
I'm eyeing up that like fuchsia, I don't know, purple or something. I'm like, all right, let's go slate. There's onyx or something, navy blue.
Yeah,
it reminds me of like,
won me over on this one.
It reminds me of like card holders, like baseball cards, like trading cards, like
it does.
Get all
these
things slotted in.
Yeah, you go to a
it's not that big either. The one that you found is pretty reasonable size. As far as like travel and stuff, I've noticed that more as I'm traveling and flying and stuff. It's always I am as techie as I am. I'm the person who does not organize those things, and so like my wife will remember this. We were flying to Vegas for a weekend to go to like this big concert, and I brought like 2 backup batteries. Like Will and I both have this thing called a Steam Deck. It's like a little gaming thing. I brought it because it was gonna be an obnoxious flight. And but I don't have like things organized. I just have the Steam Decks in a case, but like everything else is to go through bag check, I had to be like, and like drop all the cords, like
I can envision it.
Batteries down.
You could have just pulled your electric bag travel cable accessories bag waterproof double layer electronics organizer portable storage case out and put that on the thing.
This is what you get when you
Amazon name ever.
Yeah. This is what you get when you do budget tech purchases. The Amazon names are always insanely long. It's always like an absurd description of the item. Like it's never just like a travel bag. It's like,
honestly, I also just started reading it thinking like, oh, the name's going to be like the first 3 or 4 words. And then I was like, oh no. But now I committed. I just got to read all of them.
You gotta keep running with that, Yeah, exactly.
That's so that when you tell people about it, you can say, I want the dongle bag. That's not just a dongle bag. It's it's waterproof. It has everything that I would.
Yeah.
Better would be if it came with dongles. So.
Yeah. Well, they'd probably be out of date by the time you get it anyway, so it'd be fine.
That's true. Especially an Apple one. An Apple one.
Yeah, well, just give it a hot second, and some country will try to sue Apple, and Apple will eventually change their wire, but they'll claim that they did it for us, not because it was a financial nightmare to be sued.
Exactly.
I'm not bitter. It's fine.
My next recommendation is coming from my remote worker life. I have worked everywhere, and I love working remotely. I'm a go person. I have 2 laptops. I have a full backpack. This is a piece that goes with me everywhere. It is the Ergonomic Laptop Stand for desks. I think the brand is lifelong. This thing is great. And so when you're thinking about laptop stands and I like to have my neck in a good ergonomic position. I like to have my eyes straight on. Like this thing can go up like 3 or 4 feet in the air. It can take all these different angles, and and it's well weighted, so it's not heavy. It's not heavy. That's a tough thing when you're a remote worker and you try to go everywhere, right? You don't want something that's got a 5-pound concrete brick on the bottom of it. But it's designed to really balance so that wherever you put the arm with your laptop on it, it's not going to tip over. It's
very cool.
It's not top notch. I got it for my Christmas last year, and I've used it every week at least, going somewhere, doing something, working remotely. So check that out if you're also a laptop-based worker or a remote worker. It's going to save your neck. It's going to save your hide as you travel about the world.
Yeah.
Love that. That's good stuff. Matter of fact, it sounded like you actually could practice yoga at the same time while you're doing it.
I'm sure he has. Probably has tried to do yoga or at least martial arts while holding. I can speak to. I will whenever we have to remotely record. Like one of us is on vacation, and I will get pictures from Will of his setup of what it looks like, and it's always like this laptop 8 feet up out of the sky, nice. Up above all the rest of the stuff he's got set up.
It's the right angle, right? Like it records. The camera can be up and above me. Yeah.
I prefer to be a gremlin when I'm using my laptop, bent over in a dark corner, obviously wearing my music hat with a light because you can't be, crazy, see. But then, yeah.
And we're powering this whole setup off of a Jackery portable power station.
Yeah. With all the cords out of our electric bag, travel cable, accessory bag, waterproof double layer, electronic organizer, portable storage case for cable cord, charger, phone, adapter, power bank, Kindle, and hard drives.
Yes.
Can you imagine being who actually has to sell those things? So what do you sell? Here I go again. All right, this is what I said.
Would you like to? Call now. I don't want to steal your thunder. I'm very excited for your final thing, Steve. But I want to say it's actually very appropriate for techies because, as we all know, we deal with technology which should be science, but more often than not is gremlins and ghouls. So I think your final thing here is perfect for the techie who's trying to take care of ghouls in tech.
Very cool. Well, there's this neat new product out and they're trying, they're trying to get it all done here because there's going to be and I just got to say there's going to be another sequel to Ghostbusters, which there was one there that you don't count, and then there's the
you don't count.
and the last one was just amazing. Well, they're getting ready to make another one. Well, to go with that, there's all these cool things that are starting to come out. By the way, the trailer just came out yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, it just dropped yesterday.
I'll boot that up.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. But the point is that so now there's all these cool products that go with the movie, or the company's jumping on that bandwagon. And my favorite is you can buy a Ghostbusters ghost trap and PKE meter, and the PKE meter does cool things. The lights come on and all this sort of stuff, and the little side antenna go up and down, and the Ghostbusters ghost trap, it actually vibrates and it acts like something is trapped inside it. And I just, oh my gosh, man, this is what you got to do.
Yeah,
as everything else. There's nothing better than that. I mean, it's just
can depress the foot like when you throw the trap out.
It even has the foot pedal. You can throw it and then depress the foot, but you can live your Ghostbuster dreams.
I can see the office shenanigans now, right? You're just sitting there towards the front desk. That person comes in, you just throw the trap out between their legs, and you step on it darn, they didn't go away. That troublemaker just you can see some office tomfoolery.
That would. And talk about making you the life of a party. All right, if you took that
Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Because as we've learned from you, Steve, you know how to be the life of the party. There's the,
yes,
the principal. That's the life of the party.
That's exactly. Yeah. What do you do? I'm a principal. Or what do you do? I'm an assistant principal. Yeah. What do you do? I do things like discipline. Yeah, they all go away. But
this would be very applicable to your job. I feel like if you're to discipline a student, the way you do it before telling them is you become a new thing where you drop the ghost trap and you open it, and that's how they know they're in trouble. You're trying to ghost trap them. I feel like that's something that should happen.
They are marketing it as a collectible. I kind of wish it was one of those collectibles that also did things like the Harry Potter wand, the one that they've done is like Bluetooth. It also not a sponsor, also not on our list. It can control your TV or whatever. I'm like the PKE should like also give you like voltage or something.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it catches ghosts.
Oh, sure, right.
Does do that, right? Come on.
It catches ghosts.
Nice. This is great stuff. This is dogs and cats living together, fire and brimstone type stuff. We're good. So yeah.
If a Braves fan and a Phillies fan can record a podcast, everything's possible. Yeah. World peace is possible.
Yeah, exactly. In case you guys were curious, I am keeping a count on my computer about how many times each of you say Braves or Phillies during this interview.
Oh my gosh! We got next season coming. Braves, man. Forget the Phillies. All right, I have to use the trap on the Phillies.
Don't worry, listeners. Next episode of the HiTech Podcast, I'll give a full breakdown of my favorite sport, water polo, and we will really lead into it. It'll be great. It'll be awesome.
Honestly, Josh, sometimes I'm surprised it's not. And I know you're not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I'm surprised it's not like Quidditch or if there's some sport in Star Wars. I'm surprised that's whatever those sports are.
Here's the deal. I'm a nerd, but I refuse to cross to that level where I'm a fan.
You refuse to cross the streams.
Nice. Hey.
Like that's I will still remember. There's what we were watching. One of Gordon Ramsay's like cooking show things, and they were like asking the one guy what he does as his real profession, and he was like, "I'm a professional Quidditch player," and like the reaction of everyone around them was like, "That's not a thing. I don't know what you said, but it's not real. I refuse to be that. Like I will not cross that line. You know."
Yeah. For now.
Anyway.
I'm working on him, Steve. I'm working on him.
Yeah.
You're working on him? Yeah. This is good stuff. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for joining me today to talk about gifts to give the techie who has everything for this coming holiday season. And this has been fun. And I got to throw in, by the way, if you're not that, no, I would love to have this, which would be a towel with the number 42 on it. So anyway, but
that's perfect.
Hitchhiker's Girlfriend.
I gotta Google that.
There's gotta be, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be out there somewhere.
Never leave home without a towel.
Exactly. This has been fun. I appreciate you guys talking today, and this is just
absolutely
a nice little extra special episode, and wish you the best. I hope you get the stuff you wanted. So good things.
Yeah.
Right back to you. Happy holidays to those listening, and good luck gift giving.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have fun. You guys take care.
You too.
See ya.
Hey, you have been listening to Teaching Learning Leading K12, a podcast to help you help kids achieve their dreams. Teaching Learning Leading K12 is a member of the Education Podcast Network. Podcasts for educators, podcasts by educators. Teaching Learning Leading K12 is a member of the podcast network based in Canada called Voice Ed Radio. Voice Ed Radio, your voice is right here. The opinions expressed on Teaching Learning Leading K12 are those of the guests and host. Teaching Learning Leading K12 is intended to share ideas, advice, and suggestions. Teaching Learning Leading K12 is produced for educational purposes. Hey, thanks for listening. It would be awesome if you visited my website at stephenmiletto.com and connected with me, left a review, and listened to more episodes. And by the way, you could also share it with your friends, with your family, and your colleagues. Thanks so much. You're awesome.